All right, guys, we're ready to do another giveaway. I'm excited to do it because of the amount of people that felt like the last giveaway should have only been for Americans. Not true, but I understand why you felt that way and I respect it. Now, I want to tell you right now, this is not what I intended this knife to look like, but this is how the knife turns out. I feel like this is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever made. But it is unique, it is one of a kind, and it is based on a really good knife. It is an off-grid Cayman that ended up looking like a cartoon, and I apologize. However, hey, free custom knife, right? Little Mr. Cayman is coming into your life. Now, I have a video where I showed the making of this knife, the remodeling, how I got it from just a stock off-grid Cayman EDC knife to this, all this you see in front of you. And I assure you, I did not mean it to look like such a cartoony knife, but I'm hoping at least one of you will like this and will want to enter this giveaway on this channel and want this. It's a love and it's a hate. It is. Look, sometimes execution does not meet intention and expectations, and it is what it is. But we've got some very intricate Cerakote work on the blade. We've got some hydrographics on the handle, and it all comes together to make a very unique knife. So please watch the making of, because I know a lot of you like to see the in the shop vids, and then after that we'll talk about what you do, how you can take this home. It needs oil. I just put it back together. Don't worry, it will be slicker than snot. I forgot what that's from, but with a little KPL in there to make it all nice and good when it's all done. So you watch and watch this be made, and then we'll talk about how you get it in your hands. All right, guys, so doing another giveaway, and we are going to take a really nice knife, a really great knife by Off Grid, and we're gonna fancy it up. We're gonna make it, I dare say, fancy as fuck. So, brand new in the package, the Cayman. This is one of the newer ones that you fine ladies, gents, and llamas have really liked the most in terms of a cutting profile in EDC size. And I'm going to make it look good. I'm going to make it look really good in the shop today. We're going to do some stuff. So the first step is going to be taking it apart so we can get at its components. We're going to work on the back spacer, the scales. We're going to do some stuff on the blade, but I want to leave the off-grid markings on there. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with the scales yet. And we've got the hardware, and it's a nice little clip. Very comfortable in your hand. Very pokey poke. I think this is going to be a cool giveaway. Great action. So let me get to getting this guy into pieces, and then we'll head over to the workshop area. We're in the front office right now. We'll get to the workshop area and start considering what we might do. you guys have seen me do a lot of videos with films by TWN, which is one of the big hydrographics names out there, but this is by Big Brains. Big Brains makes some cool stuff. Big Brains. This is called reticulated python. Now, when I'm talking about caiman, it's kind of reptile-y. I was looking initially at like a snake skin kind of pattern, specifically this one, which would look okay, but I like this. I like this a lot. It's kind of a bigger pattern. We can use it for some different stuff, and I think it's going to look pretty good on there. And I am doing, obviously, with the caiman, I'm doing kind of a reptile, kind of a little monster kind of thing. Now, normally we just do this over a white background, but I gave those, as you saw, a little bit of the tan just to change it up a little bit so that it's not just, you know, kind of that one white background. I wanted to make it a little interesting and a little unique. So this is going to be the dipping that we're going to do. I think it's going to look good. This is it, you know, this is a little bit of representative of what it's going to look like. It always looks a little bit different when you dip. But let's get to dipping. We have film laid on the water, hydrating, getting ready. Water needs to be changed, looks pretty gross. Looks like glass, ready to dip. Now remember, everything looks great right when it comes out of the water. That's how so many YouTubers trick you. They don't show it to you once it gets rinsed. So we're gonna put this aside so it can get rinsed, and then we'll see what it really looks like. Beautiful film, activates so well. Looks good, let's hope. These are the scales right after the rinse. And you can see they look nice. They've lost a lot of their glossiness because we've rinsed off the carrier film, the PVA, polyvinyl alcohol, that was left on them. And they should be pretty much rinsed, but just make sure we got nothing left over. Because clear coat does not like to stick to PVA. And you can pretty much feel when they're nice and clean. And these are nice and clean. So this is a good dip. Very nice, I mean, clear pattern, looks good. For now, I'm gonna let these scales dry before we move on to the next part. Alright guys, so moving along with this little project, I've got the liners, and I decided I want to put like a little splash of color on the inside. Because you're not going to see the liners, obviously, with the sides that the scales are on. But you might see a little bit on the inside. And so we're doing our kind of reptilian green thing. But what is the best complementary color to green? We're going to do some red. And you know, there's like reptiles, some lizards, some snake stuff, they have some bright red. That bright red is that stay away, I will mess you up kind of marking. So we're going to take the stop pin right here. We're going to take the insides of the liners. We're going to give it a nice bright fire red on the inside. Everything else, we're going to do a super bright green that both complements the rest of the design, but also pops really, really good. So I'm going to get that going now. We have all of this hardware. Looks like a big crabby octopus right now, but all this hardware needs to get coated. And we're going to go with green mamba, because not only is it reptile-y green, but what a great name for it, right? Green mamba. So we got that backspacer over there, and we got all this, and we're going to get that all greened up. Once we get all the hardware done, then we can start thinking about what we're going to do with the blade. Blade work begins. Now this is This is a very hastily done beginning of some sharky mouth. Not some sharky mouth, but just some mouth. And it's not supposed to look even on both sides. I want it to look a little uneven, but this is just going to be the area where I'm going to start working. I'm going to do this old school style, no computer stencils or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to sandblast out that so we can do some color of like a reptile-y mouth. Sorry for the finger in that camera. Put the rest of the face up there a little bit, but then we'll do some color down the back later. But this is going to be a multi-color, multi-stage process. It's going to take a while. This is just the beginning. Well, this blade is done. It's flashed. It's not cured, but we can work with it. So we have our little kind of primitive mouth. That's all we're going to do with it. We're just going to leave the hint of the mouth. We're going to mask that off. We're going to blast the rest of this blade, most of this blade. I want to leave that off-grid symbol, and then once it's the rest of it's blasted, we're going to put two little eyes, and we're going to start masking and coloring progressively. So once it's blasted, we blast some yellow for eyes, and then we mask them, and then we put some other color on, and then we're going to mask and put another color and mask, and it's going to end up looking kind of, not exactly like the handles, but close to it. But we're just going to leave this little open red mouth, just to suggest an open red mouth there. And so now I've got to get to work making a little mask for the off-grid emblem right there. And we'll mask off this little area so it stays nice and good for the track there for the bearings and everything. I'm going to use lemon zest for the eye color. See that simple little stencil right there? Just a little circle on each side. That's all we're going to do. Now I'm going to blast this yellow back off and go with the first color and stencil and color and stencil and color and stencil. This color is called squash green, and I like it a lot, and that's going to be our first green. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some stencils that's going to help preserve that green as we put other colors on. And awkward doing the phone with one hand, but then see, we take the stencil, and I'll just put that on there, and so that's going to give us a stripe of green that will remain. And then I'm going to take this. Now these are actually stencils for doing multicam, which is kind of cool, but we're going to use it for lizardy, fishy camo stuff. And then maybe I'll put one more little bit right down on the bottom over there. And then we'll flip to the other side, and we'll put some stencils on this side. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. It's not normal to do with one hand, but so do one over there. And I have different pages and different shapes and stuff. You know, all these old stencils that I can draw from. I'm just trying to find ones that are, you know, good shape and size. You know, trying to find the ones that are good shape and size for this project is kind of where I gotta stop and think for a minute before I grab stuff and be like, okay, that'll work. Like this one's a bit big, but it's okay because I'll wrap it around, you know. I kind of like that it has that little hole there that I can use. Put that on, and then maybe one more on this side to preserve some green. Might use one of these same ones, these long ones, like stripedy ones, but we'll see which way we put it on the other side. Okay, so this is actually this is actually the exact opposite of the one we had on the other side, so that'll be good. So I'll put this one on kind of here. Okay, and now I'm ready to go lay a new color right over this, which will be a lighter green or Or even a white, I don't know. We'll see. How about a splash of citron? Yeah? Look good. How about we do some hidden white instead of regular white? It looks a little bit gray, a little off-white, but that way we're not having just bright white on that blade. We'll match up, not match, but kind of connect to the handle a little bit better that way. Alright, so final color we're going to put on here is going to be graphite black, because I can do like straight up black with this, or I can also kind of mist it on to give us some coverage and some gray, you know, a little bit. I got to be pretty creative with the spray gun to do it, but this is going to be our last fish head color right here. I did just a little bit of sanding work on the, oops, dropped the backspacer, on the backspacer here. You got little touches of green still in those indents, but I figured that might look nice. I don't know, just experimenting. Doing things one-handed. Just trying to break up this thing. Yeah, that's how Christmassy. There you go. The blade is almost ready for fitting in there. Almost done. I think the blade's gonna look a little too, gonna be a bit more colorful than the handle, but I'm not gonna be able to recreate this exactly on the blade, but it's gonna, you know, it's gonna pop, let me tell you. It's gonna like come out when you open the knife, and it's gonna be like, whoa, craziness. Okay, so this is out of the oven after flashing it, not curing. So everything is dry, but not fully cured. But we can start taking off our masks, all of our stencils. This is really a two-hand job, but I'm gonna do my best to work with one hand on a sort of hot piece of metal. Seeing where all the stencils are. I usually get to this point and I get all the way done, and then there's like one or two stencils that I somehow forgot to remove. We remove them now because once they get fully cured, they get like very brittle and very hard to take off. They flake away when you try to peel them. So it's just better to remove your stencils now before you fully cure the thing at an hour or 2 hours in the oven. But it's looking more like a tropical fish, I think. Now that I'm looking at it, but still, the colors kind of go with what we did with the handle. See a little thing over here? Oh, is that the mouth? No. Now at this point you can still scratch the Cerakote because it's not fully cured, so you gotta be careful taking everything off. This might be a two-hand job to get the mouthpieces off, but let me dedicate 2 full hands to unmasking everything, and then I can see what it looks like. So what I'm going to do now is just give a little buff with the 3M pad here, just to even out edges and make it look not so, a little more natural, the colors going together, not so boom in your face. Okay, so we've got all of these pieces that need to go in. And alright, so blade ended up, once again, expectations did not meet execution. This looks more like a tropical fish to me, but it is what it is at this point. So assembling, we need these things are steel plates that the bearings can run on. We need a bearing. Okay. Putting things together with one hand is never easy. I'll get some oil in there after everything's put together. Why are you so hard to go in? Another bearing. And it's not bad. Certainly one of a kind. I like just the hint of eyes in a mouth. The red goes with the liners. I may need 2 hands to get this thing all together and seated properly. Let me turn this off and be back. Okay. It's a very busy knife, but it is also very Cayman. So I love the handle. You know what? I think that the blade is pretty good because it incorporates a lot of the colors and sort of shapes from the handle in there. It's very original. It's kind of a caricature face there. I like it, but function-wise, it needs a little bit of oil. I haven't oiled it yet, but even without oil, these bearings still shoot. Boy, is it colorful. It will get noticed. So there you go. There is the abbreviated making, customizing anyway, of a giveaway knife. I gotta now work on the edge a little bit because it's got some Cerakote on it, so we need to get that off. So it has a nice shiny bevel and is ready to cut stuff. But I think the red on the liners really worked too. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed watching a little bit of the process. I made it short. I didn't give you the whole thing, but you get the picture. So as you can see, at the end of the day, I went back and I made a couple changes. I had to add in some teeth to the mouth and a little bit more eyeball for the eyes to make it kind of recognizable at least, right? I understand that the teeth are not even on both sides, but you know what? Lots of people have crooked, uneven teeth. So it's just realism, okay? So I made a couple changes after the fact that I think actually help or make it look more cartoony. But, you know, the reason I didn't just do the graphics on the blade was because hydrographics on a blade don't hold up very well. They don't, because of the amount of abuse that a blade takes, unless you're just going to put it on a shelf and look at it. But I don't know what the winner's going to do with this. Are they going to actually carry it? Are they going to use it? Or are they just going to put it on a shelf and make it look... I don't know. But I wanted to give you the options. So let's talk about how somebody gets this in their own collection. So some simple rules. We got to talk about rules. Sorry. Number one, you got to be a subscriber to my channel, because that's basically it. That's all you got to do. Be a subscriber to my channel, because it's those people that subscribe and watch videos and interact that have built this channel and have made this channel what it is. Number two, and this is, understand, I get it, and I have to explain this all the time. You have to be at least 18 years of age, or you have to have permission from a legal guardian or a parent or whatever to receive a knife in the mail. And here's why this is important. I get it, and I say this every time. There are some states where you can be like 14 years old and legally buy a knife and own a knife. That's not the issue. The issue is this is going to come to you through the Federal Postal Service, through the mail, and they have rules. So by entering this contest, you are swearing, it is on you. By entering, you are saying that you are either 18 years old, which is the federal requirement to get a knife in the mail, or that you have the permission from a legal guardian to receive this thing. So that way it's on you if you lie, not me. I'm good, because I've said it. There is one entry per person, and you'll enter by commenting on this video, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. This contest is going to run for a week, so from the day I post this video until 1 week from then, and there will be, in the video description, there'll be the dates, because I'm not sure exactly what day it's gonna post. So look at the video description to see the contest open and closing dates. And in order to enter to win the knife, all you got to do is comment on this video. Just say that you're in. You're in. Just the word in, I'm in, whatever, in. That's all you got to do. Now, it's great. I love it when people want to comment and be like, I like the knife is cool, or like, hey, thanks for doing this, that's awesome. But if you don't comment the words in, I'm in, or whatever, I don't know that you're actually entering the contest. Because there are times where people have commented like, hey, I really like the knife, but I'm not entering the contest for it because, I have too many knives, whatever. So you got to actually enter the contest to put your name on the list to win. All right, that's so, and I love and I appreciate like the comments of like, hey, it's a cool knife, or hey, I like this, or hey, you could have done that better, or whatever. But if you actually want to enter the contest, you got to enter like, I'm in, so I know that you're entering the contest. And that's it. And then we will announce the winner and send this off. This goes worldwide, okay? So I know that there are legal issues for knives and all sorts of stuff in other countries. look, that's on you. I will send this thing anywhere. You do not have to pay for shipping. I've got some amazing, awesome viewers that make contributions during live streams and everything. And that money from that goes in a little kitty, and that is for shipping of giveaway items and stuff like that. So you do not have to pay a single cent if you win this to have it shipped to you or anything. That's all on me, and I've got awesome viewers to help support that. So I love to do these giveaways to give back to this community that has given so much to me in the way of support and making my channel an actual thing. I know it's not my finest work, and I apologize. It started off good. Started off real good, real good, real good, real good. What the hell happened? But I hope somebody will just appreciate it in the end. So thank you guys for all the support that you give me and all that you do to make this happen. Go ahead, enter. Remember the rules. They'll be in text in the video description if you forget them. And you guys are all absolutely awesome. And I appreciate every single one of you. And so does Mr. Kamen. And we'll be back again real soon.